Last night, the drivers of the Area Cup Series took on the world's fastest half mile. This is Thunder Valley Bristol Motor Speedway. Tonight, though, the Truck Series drivers are on the world's dirtiest half mile, covered in clay and dirt. Tonight, we're heat racing for our 8th round of the season. Hi, everybody. Kyle Heyer, joined by Finney DeCuna. Finney, welcome aboard. This is going to be a fun one tonight. Heat racing and dirt racing. This is going to be an interesting change from what we're used to doing here in iRacing with the Area Group. But should be a different change of pace and it should be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Really forward to seeing these guys get it down and dirty with it, especially with, as you mentioned, the heat race format we got for these guys. A little bit something different than what we're going to see from the rest of the week. Obviously, we had the Cup Series racing here last night on the asphalt, or I should say the concrete, and then we have. And then on Thursday, also the Lodge Box Series coming down here to racing concrete. But now we got the dirt out with the trucks. And you can see these guys already in practice, whipping around here, getting ready for the main event.
There's Brad Slaughter Jr. in 5th at the moment. Here's a look at the drivers on the timing and scoring. It's Travis Beckner at the top. Sub 22nd lap. Ryan Hartz is 2nd, Tyler Hallman 3rd, then Cameron Hearn and Brad Slaughter Jr. And about 34 drivers entered for tonight's event and 4 heat races before our 75-lap feature event that will take us through the end of the night. As we get into this evening, Finian, there's lots of conversation about where we were last week. That was at Darlington Raceway. This week, though, heading to the short track. It's not a typical short track. Bumping and banging. You do that a lot at places like Bristol, but here you're just on ice all the time, so any little bump and bang could be a real big disaster and drop you down the order pretty quick.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing with seeing these guys, handling on dirt is so different, especially with these big, heavy stock cars. They just do not want to go around here. You see some guys spinning out and spinning out some more. These things are not as elegant as a dirt car, like a dirt sprint, dirt late model, dirt modified. They're big, heavy stock cars. They're going to ride around here very awkward. It takes a lot of finesse, a lot of fine control to get these things around here in one piece.
There's a good look at Jordan Martin in the number 11. Points leader David Weishart is 10th in practice right now. Look how high the dirt is. It's almost up to the top of the wall, and that will kind of move and adjust throughout the evening here, Finian, but the dirt is right up to the top of the wall and right near the fencing. That's how much dirt and clay we got packed in here at Bristol.
Yeah, and all these guys riding out here, 3 minutes left in practice. Travis Beckner, the fastest of everyone out there, doing really well in his number 28 machine. Only got to get down below the 20-second mark.
Have a look here at our standings here, our playoff picture after race 7 of 17. David Weishart at the top, Ryan Hartz in and locked. So are the 5 drivers behind. Brad Slaughter Jr. is in, so is Roderick Hearn and a Sogak, Fambro, and Swan, but Swan not so much. There's some fighting that they still have to do to get themselves in position tonight.
Yeah, and got some guys, as you mentioned, the guys are locked in. It's kind of amazing that after only 6 races, we've had 6 different winners. It's kind of impressive to see. I'm curious if we're going to see a different winner. We got Brad Slaughter, AJ Roderick, Cameron Hearn. A lot of guys you kind of would expect to maybe have one. Cameron Colin Farmer, you can throw him into the mix as well. A lot of guys you would think would have a win at this point in the season, but don't have it quite yet, and they're on the outside knocking in of being locked in. That being said, they are safely in the points, but we know, we've seen Kyle many times in the past, you do not want to rest on points alone. You definitely want to try to lock yourself in.
Yeah, you got to lock yourself in as early and as often as possible, but this can kind of be a wild card here. Dirt track kind of brings in a different kind of driving for a lot of these folks, and you're going to bring in a different skill set. For some drivers, something that they don't get to exercise a lot throughout the season, so you might see a different group of drivers up towards the front, but as I say that, you look here in practice, and similar names near the top, maybe Tyler Hallman a little further forward than we're used to seeing him, Matthew Cochran up inside the top 10. For the most part, though, same names, which is a bit surprising, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, we see the 00 of Danny Ware getting to the wall just a little bit. And that's going to, I'm curious to see with that, when we have these guys in a pack and have all these guys ripping around here, when these guys get into the wall or just get into each other like that, just like those minor contacts, it could be absolutely devastating for these guys. If it's just some minor contact, ooh, and you see also into the wall, got stuck in the wall as well, definitely want to avoid that.
Jordan Martin still working his way around here in practice. Qualifying. Pretty critical tonight. We've got some heat races that kind of shake some things up, but what you don't want to do is really fall outside of, fall to the rear of the heat races and have to start way in the back in the feature event. Only 75 laps to get the job done tonight, which can be a challenge, I think, if you start towards the back. So qualify okay and try to get through the heat races, and staying out of trouble is going to be the #1 goal for everybody tonight. That's perhaps obvious, but let's talk about the changing of the racetrack throughout the evening. You got this racing line that is going to kind of adjust and move throughout the evening as well, and drivers will be chasing the softer, kind of stickier clay versus the stuff that's been kind of run in.
Yeah, let's see how worn in that dirt is here as qualifying. Practice is coming in. Qualifying just coming up in a little bit. Just wanted to check if the track speed is carrying over too, because I'm sure these guys don't want to carry it with all that rubber laid down flat. No, we are going to start from a completely green track for all the heat and main event coming up.
Yeah, just a moment, we'll be heading into qualifying and kicking things off here with a qualifying session, and we'll head over and we'll also get through our Roasted Gems Coffee starting grid as soon as qualifying is complete. Head back down to the racetrack here in just a moment's time. Fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel. For only $5 a month, you can watch all area broadcasts commercial-free. You can also use new Area iRacing emotes in the chat. You'll also earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem free merchandise. That's twitch.tv/Area iRacing. Qualifying underway. Cars on the racetrack, and this is a pretty critical time. There's Brad Slaughter Jr. in the #8, just getting warmed up here up to speed and getting set up for his qualifying effort here. Stay off the fence here, Finian. A wall tap is going to invalidate your efforts.
Absolutely. It can be absolutely catastrophic for these guys if they get that wall tap and get put back in the heat. And again, it's not the end of the world with these heats coming up. Again, it's going to mix up the order a little bit, but you don't want to be starting from the back here. You don't have a lot of time in the main event either. It's only 75 laps and a lot can happen.
Little wall tap there for Brad Slaughter Jr., which could invalidate this lap. First lap across the board at 20.779, but it will not count. James Scioli jumps to the top for the time being here, or 20.211. We saw drivers go sub 20 in practice, but you see the track kind of refreshed here. Don't have that worn-in line as Scioli bails out on the second effort. Ryan Hart's up to second place in the #3. Justin Anasogak and Jordan Martin, Colin Fambro, and Brad Slaughter on his second lap goes fastest.
And there he goes, messed up the first one, able to clinch it in on the second. Cameron Hearn now flying around, trying to see if he can beat both Scioli and Slaughter to the top of the charts. Cross the line for the 67 truck, and that will only put him nowhere, but that did not count.
Lap 2 for Hearn. A lot of wiggling and wobbling on the straightaway here, all the way to the bottom of the track, and throttling back up across the line. 20.220, that should be very close to pole. It will be third, right behind 20.211 by James Scioli. Solid lap there by Cameron Hearn. Tyler Hallman is rolling now. Nice looking livery on the 42. Cahill Holmes in the 41 goes fifth quick. Other drivers on track. Jeff No in the #55. Matt Bell's on track. Bryce Senesac, who was upside down last night in the Cup race, is up to... Well, he's up on the racetrack getting rolling.
Wait, now, how did he manage to get upside down here at Bristol?
So
that's kind of impressive.
There was a big crash, and someone kind of pinched him against the outside wall, and he kind of rode up the fender and then used the outside fence as sort of a half pipe.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen for him tonight, especially in qualifying here. He comes across the line 20.9, up in 18th. He's going to want to hope for better. He works his way on through onto the back straightaway.
Big wobble there out of turn 2 to the bottom. And when the track is fresh like this, I don't know if it's really clear where you want to be. Bottom's not a bad place, it looks like. Senesac goes a little slower on that second lap. Justin Munsell puts in a time. Corbin Irvin swerves into turn #1, starting his first flying lap.
Travis Beckner actually just put in a lap up in the 5th. He's about to complete his second lap as he comes out of turn 4 as Irvin hits the wall. For Beckner was the fastest man in practice, is not the fastest man in qualifying. Will only have to settle for 5th place.
He will stay where he is for now. Irvin working his way around lap #2. Lots of angle in that 48 truck.
Yeah. I would argue a little bit too much angle, but that being said, I'm really bad at dirt racing, so I think I'll leave it to the experts on the track.
You know what's interesting is a lot of times the dirt racers that are coming from sprint cars, they won't have a lot of angle because angle is kind of bad for carrying speed.
Yeah.
But come from the guys that run modifieds and things like that, carry a little bit more sideways in through the corners. And which dirt you kind of grew up racing or watching might influence your style, but I think everyone can agree you have to pitch these trucks in a little harder. They're really heavy and really under-tired for dirt racing, so they're kind of unnatural to drive in some instances for dirt racers, and certainly for drivers that grew up driving on asphalt.
Cochran, the number 4 machine, crossed the line for him. 20.6, and the count indeed did up into 11, so solid effort for the 4. He's going to come up high off a turn 2, hits the wall. He's done for qualifying.
Yeah, that will end his effort there, and he will not go faster on his second lap. Looks like no other takers for the time being here in qualifying. Some drivers just making their rounds. Matt Bell working his way across the line, a little slower on lap number 2 by about 300ths. Bell did real well last night on the asphalt. We'll see how he does on the dirt this evening, but off to a good start here, 4th qualifying. A lot of takers here early in the session, and not a lot of drivers left. Only Jacob Bell and Eric Wineland have yet to go back out on the road. There's the matte black number 21. Love the matte black with the white rims. Good-looking car for Eric truck rather for Eric Wineland. Jacob Bell, the only other driver without a time yet here in qualifying.
I was gonna say I don't even think Jacob Bell is going to be qualifying. I see him in the admin tower.
Oh, he's not in the truck then. Wineland's firing up the engines. Or singular engine.
He has a V16 in there.
It's like boat racing. You got 2 500 horsepower motors on the tail of this thing. And Wineland fires up to speed here on board. I found a Ford. I was missing a iRacing updated for me and messed up all my camera files. I'm gonna fix that while I got the opportunity.
Oh, right, I forgot. You haven't done a truck race in a while.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. There's Wineland's on board here.
I was going to say, I was wondering why you had that.
Yeah, it was just at the build. It worked on my car cameras for some reason.
Oh,
it just re-defaulted to the old one.
oh, I see.
Wineland up to 12th on his first lap. Out of turn 4 on lap number 2. Can he go faster? A lot of drivers did not. He does by about a couple hundredths of a second, but not enough to improve his position. He will stay 12th. The last driver here lead his qualifying effort. Bryce Enesak still out there getting some practice. Not a bad strategy, I'd say, to get some laps in here. And for some, this is a track that you can't practice too much because the conditions are always changing. And then, you think you got it figured out, then you add traffic to the mix, and then it just turns incredibly challenging.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, I think for a lot of guys who practice, we were expecting to see Beckner up near the top. Unfortunately, didn't really know when Beckner put his fastest lap in at what state the track surface was at. So, when you take away the way this track surface is, you see the 20 and Munsell come flying in hard into the wall in the cookie crumble machine. Car crumble.
Again, I apologize for those that weren't aware last night. I am very under the weather, so bear with me throughout the evening here. I'm dealing with being poisoned from a particular state.
See, the funny thing is, you saying you're sick, I don't think anything will compare to the one, I think, the Daytona broadcast you did where you lost your voice.
That was a truck race, too, when my voice cracked at the finish. No, I wasn't sick. I just lost my voice because we had been at Watkins Glen that week.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
And my voice cracked right at the finish. That was top 10 moments of all time. We still need to go back and do that, Sim TV from then and now or whatever.
Yeah. In the works.
Is it?
At some point. I don't know. Maybe.
It's in the works. I didn't know about it. There's Eric Wineland in the 21, slowing down, rolling, just finishing up his effort here. You see the truck actually slide kind of rear first down the hill. Really just not a lot of grip at the moment.
I was going to say, I wonder if he's practicing a start or a race start.
Looks to be like that, actually. Good call.
That's smart. Yeah, I was going to say, that's really smart. I was wondering, I was like, why is he just rolling slow through 3 and 4? And that's probably why. But it makes a lot of sense because it's like you said, that yaw to the left, because you're at it with the dirt, you don't have a lot of traction. So when you jump on the accelerator, the truck's going to act a little bit weird. It's going to either point right or point left. And if you're not careful, you don't modulate the throttle, you're going to go flying to the wall.
Yeah, so you see just there how much yaw he's got in the truck to the right. That's not a comfortable feeling to have that thing heading towards the wall, then having to swing the rear around. And the one difference between the Cup cars and the trucks here are the long quarter panels these trucks have. So when you yaw them out sideways like this, it's really easy to swing that tailgate over to the fence and bounce it off the wall. Not such a big deal with the next-gen cars, but here with the trucks on the dirt, that rear end's got a lot behind it, a lot behind the rear axle that can swing out and hit the...
He's got so much rear end.
Crazy. 30 seconds left here in qualifying, and everyone just kind of running out their tires here on this qualifying session before we get into the heat racing tonight. Remember, 4 heat races. We're 12 advanced. We should all, everyone is going to get in. It's just a matter of setting the grid for tonight's 75-lap feature. So that's what's coming up here in just a moment. And we'll be going over our Roasted Gems Coffee starting lineup here in just a moment's time. So we'll thank Roasted Gems Coffee. Fans, be sure to visit Roasted Gems Coffee for some of the finest coffee from all over the world. Use discount code AREAIRACING for 10% off your order at roastedgems.com. We're going to go through the starting lineup here on the left-hand side of the screen because of the heat racing format. And here they are. Brad Slaughter Jr. will roll off on the front row alongside Matthew Bell. They are your front row starters here for Heat 1. Ryan Hartz and Jordan Martin start in row number 2, Finian.
Yeah, moving on back in behind them, Matthew Cochrane is going to be lined up on the inside in 5th place. Next to him, Charles Keeney in the 44 is going to be lined up in 6th. Back behind them, 51, Logan Hartman in 7th, with Danny Ware in the 00 in 8th.
9th place will be Bryce Senesac in the 09, and Lath Hicks in the 53 starts in 10th. Jeffrey Wilson will bring up the rear of this 11-car field here for this first heat. We'll use the top ticker for the heat racing tonight, and you'll see it scroll across the top of your screen throughout the evening. Have a quick look at the weather information, and notably the humidity. Pretty dry out there, Finian. One thing we know about the dirt, when it's dry, it's dusty, and when it's dusty, it's not sticky. That means we could see a lot of slipping and sliding around tonight. I don't think the dirt is showing a lot of grip this evening, so that'll be something drivers will have to fight the entire evening.
Yeah, I was going to say also, these guys should be glad it's a sim because we don't have mud completely sticking to the front end of these trucks like we saw in real life one time. So I'm sure they're definitely going to be glad that that's not an issue they have to deal with, just to make sure the handling of the truck's right and that they're able to deal with it. Especially, again, like I said, going to be interesting seeing these starts with these guys going double file. It's going to be very chaotic. Could see quite a few wrecks happen there.
Yep, and with 11 truck heat, I think these will probably go pretty quickly. These should be under 3 minutes. There is an 8-minute timer on each caution laps will not count, but there is an 8-minute timer on the race here. So that means that they cannot take any longer than 8 minutes despite their caution laps not counting. Gridding process taking a minute here because Jacob Bell is not joining us on the racetrack, so we have to wait for the countdown to run out before we can get pacing. We'll get a moment to get drivers up onto the racetrack, and it's not a lot to do with getting the tires and things up to temp here, Finian. You're on dirt. Not a lot of temperature to gain other than in the brakes and getting yourself warmed up.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like you said, just getting yourself warmed up, getting ready for that start, making sure you're ready to go. You kind of have a bit of a game plan and kind of need to know what to expect. Like I said, Eric Wine did a great job. I'm not sure how much of these other guys have gotten practice, jumping on the gas, getting this thing underway, because that is going to be chaotic. You could lose a lot of places if you don't get it right.
Brad Slaughter Jr. and Matthew Bell up on the front row. Everybody will transfer again. No eliminations in these heats, but it will set our grid for the race in a little while. One to go this time through. Means next time by we're going green for 8 laps. About 20-second laps here, but pretty quick races. Ryan Hart's in the number 3, and of course, last night had the decal for his grandfather on the hood. We documented a couple of weeks ago his grandmother passed away, and unfortunately his grandfather on the same side of the family passed away just a couple of days ago. So racing with heavy hearts again for Ryan here this week, but he's got the Rick's Hot Sauce machine up on row number 2 and trying to vault himself into victory lane again Wasn't able to do it last night, but is in good position already to do it tonight. Here we go. Time to go racing from Bristol. In the dirt, we're green from the world's fastest half mile. Yawing out, slipping in sideways into turn number 1. Matthew Bell on the outside, Brad Slaughter Jr. on the inside, Jordan Martin all the way up to the outside fence.
Yeah, and you saw Ryan Hartz get very squirrely on that start. Luckily, no more issues from him. He's able to get that underway quickly. Gonna go to the inside of Martin, gets past him in the top few meters. So it's all single file.
Into turn number 1. Now just 7 laps to go. Look at the 3 car under fire from Jordan Martin now, who gets to the inside here. Good run for the 11. Tosses the truck in sideways. The 3's got big momentum here. Has to arrest it before he gets to the 9 of Matt Bell.
Oh, that's actually going to be tough for him because he had to jump on the brakes. He killed so much momentum. Now he's got the 11 of Martin back on him. And now Martin goes to his inside, actually towards pretty much where the apron would be if there wasn't a huge amount of dirt on this place. He's trying to get his way on by. You can go all the way down to the wall, which you're normally not able to do, again, when there's not a lot of dirt here, but these guys have a huge amount of real estate to work with.
Matthew Cochran on board here in 5th, chasing the 11 and the 3. Look how much angle they've got. Look how much steering input they have to carry through this lap. Oh, big check up and in the wall out of turn 2. Now to the bottom, he's going to dive underneath the 11.
And that's the big thing, again, when you dive like that, you got to watch out because you lose so much momentum off the corner. It can allow your competitors to catch back up to you and try to make a pass. Look at the 44 Charles Canita now in his machine. Got Logan Hartman in behind 51, hunting him down for 6th place.
Yeah, passing seems to be a pretty big challenge right now. The 00, Danny Ware up into the fence. Got some right side damage all the way up in the cushion, trying to find some grip up there. Great exit here out of turn 4. But now stuck behind Senesac is going to try the same thing in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he was trying to go to the outside on the 09 on the straightaway. I'm not sure if Senesac threw a block or was just trying to get up there in the top lane, and Ware loses grip off of turn 2. Was flying down, almost hits the 53 of Hicks, and he just hangs on to it.
Lath Hicks in the 53. Love the color green on this truck. Really nice looking shade. Up to 9th place.
I don't see that shade too often.
No, it's not quite a British racing green, but it's got a really good kind of emerald forest green to it. Kind of classic looking. Danny Ware chucks it into the wall again, trying to find any kind of pace, but it's going to go south for him. Jeffrey Wilson's going to go on by. White flag for Brad Slaughter Jr., who's been in command since the drop of the green flag. Matt Bell unable to do anything, fitting tough to pass here so far. Slaughter is going to roll through 3 and 4 and pick up heat number 1 victory here.
Yeah, because flying out of turn 4 does a solid job. Bell trying to get some sort of last-minute run too far away to do anything. Slaughter off to a dominant start over Bell, Hartz, Martin, and Cochran. Your top 5.
And not a great effort there for Danny Ware. He will drop down to 11th place. And just like that, we're on to the next one. Rapid-fire races here tonight. Love these quick heat races. This will be a blast tonight. Now heat race number 2 is about to fire off. And now our Roasted Gems Coffee starting lineup for this one. On the left-hand side of your screen, row number 1, it's going to be James Scioli in the number 7. He'll start alongside Tyler Holman in the number 42.
Back in behind them, Cahill Holmes in the 41 can be lined up in 3rd, completing row number 2. David Weishart in the 33 in 4th place.
5th place will be Colin Fambro in the number 18, alongside Rafe Slate in the number 08.
Garrett Granton's going to be starting behind them in 7th in the 46. Cody Cutter in the 25 in 8th place.
AJ Roderick and Bobby Tinch roll off in row number 5 of the 56 and 66. Jane Abbey starts in 11th in the number 12. Cars rolling. Just like that, we're off and pacing for heat race number 2. All right, what did we learn? Seems like it's challenging to pass there, Finian, but mistakes easy to make.
Oh, definitely. And I think we definitely saw, be careful of the lunges that you make, because if you make a lunge, you might end up costing yourself position. If not position, costing yourself momentum. You're going to have to spend a lot of time catching back up to your competitor to try to make a pass. I think what we're really going to see, we might not honestly see a lot of passing in these heat races, except when drivers make mistakes. I think we'll see a lot more passing once we get the actual race underway and the track starts to kind of ebb and flow.
The 1 to green here this time through. James Scioli, front row for this one. Scioli, in terms of the season championship, really not in the mix here in the Truck Series. Tyler Hallman, however, was kind of on the cusp of being in the show in terms of the playoffs last season, but he's down the order 25th this season. Has not been best of seasons. David Weishart, though, is your points leader, and he will start in 4th in that number 33 truck. Colin Fembro's up here as well. Colin's 9th in the standings. And he'll start along, or right kitty corner to the 33 of Weishart. Pace truck pulls off. 8 laps, and we're underway again from the world's fastest half mile. Bristol, covered in dirt. Here we go again. Allman hanging tough on the outside this time. And much tighter pack from 5th on back. Scioli and Hallman still haven't sorted out. I think the outside lane's a place to be, though. Hallman riding the rim out there, using the cushion, and Hallman will go to the lead.
Because I really feel like Hallman is a dirt racer. Just the line, the way he's attacking these corners, it really looks like he knows what he's doing out there. Colin Fambro making up some ground. A little bit of a tap at the 46 Garrett Grant. Move himself up 2 spots since the start of this race. Actually, sorry, not moving himself up 2 spots. I thought he got around the 41 of Kyle Holmes. Just got past the 46, who made a little bit of contact with the left rear quarter panel. Now we'll set his sights on the 41.
Ooh, drivers behind him way up into the outside wall. Cody Cutwer just tapping the fence. Shane Abbey and Bobby Tinch trading spots. But middle of the track seems to be the comfortable place right now, but the drivers that are able to get all the way up to the outside wall are making up ground. But not a lot of drivers willing to go up there this early in the race. Scioli, a lane higher, he's going to find some pace up there, I think.
Yeah, you can see him riding just on just where that excess dirt is sitting there on the track. That's the line you want to be with the loose gravel. That's where you're going to start making up some time. You're going to see these guys kind of inching up there and trying to ride that line. See Hallman taking a little bit more of a defensive run. This is taking up the middle of the track, but he's starting to lose time to the 7.
Gaining some ground here. Up to the outside wall. Loses some speed mid-corner because that longer way around, but on exit, he's just able to put down a lot more power to the road because that extra momentum he carries mid-corner. He's a little too high there, I think, Phil Finney. You get to too much of the loose stuff, and the tires just can't grip anything that's not moving.
No, yeah, I mean, again, from my little dirt racing experience, you really just want to be riding just on the edge of that loose gravel to make the most amount of speed. Just like the 46 right there, you see him rocketing around the 41. Cahill Holmes, who's in a bit of a pincer attack. Yeah, the 46 worked to his outside. Now the 18 moving to his inside. Bamber trying to do the slide jump. Can't quite get there. Holmes going to power on the outside.
Yeah, still great battle here for position. This is for 6th. Still door to door here between these two. So much angle you have to carry in these
up ahead of them,
machines.
Garrett Grant and Rafe Slate door to door. Grant's trying to make up both. Actually, Rafe Slate and Grant have made up 2 spots. If Grant can get by, he'll be up 3. Does an over-under elevator move. Fantastic job. Oh, gonna also go and get into the 0-8, secure that spot.
Hallman, Scioli, Weishart, your top 3. Good battles mid-pack. Look at Cutwer to the outside of Abbey. He'll beat him to the line by just a slice. And Bobby Tinch comes home in 11th. That's heat number 2, done and dusted.
I didn't even realize you're coming to the checkered flag. There was so much going on in that race.
It happens quickly in heat racing, especially when they're 8-lap heats. Heat number 3. Time to move on to our starting lineup here. Again, our Rosa Gems Coffee starting lineup. Cameron Hearn, Travis Beckner share row number 1. Finian and Asogak and Wineland are in row number 2.
Yeah, really solid lineup here, especially Hearn and Beckner here to see what they can do. In behind them, Jordan Hurley in the number 5 machine going lineup, ironically in 5th place. Carter Coop next to him in 6th place in the 52. Paul Irvin in behind them in the 48, and Alex Weaver in the 98 in 8th place.
In 9th place, it's Ryan Swan in the number 19. Justin Munsell starts in 20th in the Crumble Toyota Tundra. And Jeff No starts 11th. All right, trucks are rolling, and before we get green here, fans, be sure to check out the simwrapmarket.com website for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use and help you stay more focused on the racetrack. simwrapmarket.com. And we'll get that Simwrap Market replay going a little bit later tonight. Heat so far, clean and green.
I also just wanted to know something you just saw right there on the screen. Cameron Hearn electing to take the outside for the initial start of the race. I think he saw there Hallman make very effective use of that outside lane, and he wants some of that action, knows that that's probably the place to be.
Interesting. I mean, if you get a good launch, the bottom's fine. I think the outside is the place to be in the race, and I think Cameron sensed that, and he'd rather have the top side. And given you've got the advantage to go whenever you want to go, don't really think it matters what lane you choose, but where you sustain that line is probably going to be the upper groove anyway.
And we'll see if it's going to matter here. I'm sure Beckner's definitely going to make him fight for that 20. Is looking pretty quick this week. I don't think he's going to take this putting down here again. We're fighting. The winner of this race will effectively be starting third in the lineup, so that's what these guys are fighting for. See who gets that spot.
Time to go racing in heat number 3 of 4. Hearn, Beckner on the front row. Green flag in the air. Racing again on the dirt at Bristol. Good tight start that time through, but Hearn clears Beckner through turn 1.
Beckner rolling the bottom, though, trying to make sure he at least clears the third-place driver, Eric Wineland. Can't quite get through. He's going to try to slot himself in between both trucks. Wineland still riding that outside, not trying to give up that spot for second place because he knows he has a chance.
Ooh, the 88 of Anasogak had to bail out there. It was real tight out of turn number 4. Look at this. Side by side for third for a moment, but Beckner slots into line. The 52 was under fire from Weaver in the 98, who drives to the bottom to try to carry the short way around.
Beckner up on the wall now, cutting down low on the exit, side by side with the 67 into turn 1.
Great lunge there from Beckner, but Hearn still has that upper groove.
Beckner threw it into the corner, trying to see if he could slide on the 67. Couldn't quite do it. Watch Beckner, so close. He's riding that rear end so close to the wall. I'm actually kind of genuinely impressed how close he can get. He definitely knows what he's doing out there.
Oh, he's got the right rear touching the fence. Look at him. He's scraping the wall with just the corner of the truck. Here he comes now for the lead, almost rear-ending the 67.
I mean, it makes sense that he's able to run up there, and you're going to want to start running up there near the wall because with the gravel he had cleared from the first 2 heats, line's been moving up the track now effectively against the wall.
Beckner's got nose ahead here, but Hearn's going to carry that outside lane a little bit faster, a little bit further, and hangs on.
Meanwhile, in behind them, Justin Anasoga, this has been a horrible heat for him. He's just been tumbling down the order. No, he's not been able to get to that outside lane. Started in third, all the way back to 8th place now.
Yeah, not going the right direction. Again, single lap pace is a lot different than being able to race on the dirt. And you add traffic to the mix and you can't run the ideal line, and then finding your way to it is a much bigger challenge. Eric Wineland is watching these two fighting, hoping that they'll tangle and give him an opportunity, but just a mile left here at Bristol. Big dive from Beckner into turn 1. Slide job up the racetrack. He's got him. He passes the 67. Hearn goes to the middle and he gets tagged.
Oh, no, he saves it. That was close to being a disaster.
Oh, he drives in.
Hearn's coming back.
Holy crash. And Wineland to the bottom of the racetrack, coming to the white flag. 3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go. It's all out. Elbows banging against rib cages in turn 1.
Now Carter Coops into the fray. He might have a chance of getting the win here. These all 3 of them tangle to the front, which they probably are. Hearn's mad and angry.
Oh, he's going to turn the 28. Checkered flag waving. Hearn to the rear bumper of the 28. Slips and slides. He's going to spin at the line. They tangle, and Beckner wins the heat. Wow.
Wow, that was that was an all-out brawl there at the end. And that was just for the heat, too. That wasn't even for the main race. They get no points out of that.
They're going to be fist fighting later. It doesn't even matter right now. That was awesome.
I was going to say, both of them are going to remember this later, too, so I don't think they're going to get too friendly with each other in the main event, but wow.
All right, did we skip a heat because we didn't have...
Oh, yeah, I guess we did because we only had about 33 guys. So, yeah, only 3 heats.
All right, so with our heats out of the way, that was a blast. That was a really, really fun one to watch, I'll say. That's going to move us on to our feature in just a few moments. While we got the moment, fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Be sure to follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the area Cup Series. See who will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings. All right, so does the Beckner and Hearn issue carry over to the feature? I think it does.
Yes, absolutely. It took Hearn 0 seconds to process that. The next corner, he immediately went for not even a dive bomb. I would say an assassination attempt. He drove in
there like Beckner insulted his mother.
Yeah,
drove in there like
that wasn't a slide job. That was a targeted attack.
Like a Wisconsin plow to a snowbank. Just went in there and absolutely obliterated him. That was fun. All right, well, Drivers warming up. They're going to take the opportunity here to get some extra laps in before we turn things loose. And here's a look at that from high above. So 75-lap feature. We've seen lots of green racing. No cautions in the heat yet. Is that indicative of what we're going to see? Again, caution laps do not count.
I don't know. It's going to be tough to tell because everyone. I feel like everyone kept it clean and green because, again, there wasn't any points riding on it. We did see some wrecks towards the end, but it was the end of the heat. But yeah, they were pretty clean. Will it be indicative of the race? I feel like this is what's going to probably happen. I think everyone's going to be taking nice and easy. They're all going to be friendly towards each other, except for Cameron Hearn and Travis Beckner. They're going to be eyeing at each other. And then I think once we get that first wreck, I think that's when we're going to probably see more caution. I think we're going to see cautions rating caution if we get that first caution. Yeah,
I think the challenge, especially as you get near the end of this thing, is it is so hard to pass. How do you not take every opportunity? How do you pace yourself? You don't get a lot of chances here. 75 laps is pretty short. Imagine if this was the oval. 75 laps is like 5 minutes worth of racing at the end of the day. So you really got to have to push. And that means that we might see some incidents. And especially with tempers flaring already like we saw at the tail end of that heat. As soon as someone lays a fender on you, it's time to clear them out. If you've got beef, this is the night where you cook it.
Yeah, there you go. How long have you kept that in the back pocket? That was pretty good.
Just thought of it right now.
I don't believe you half the time you say that.
How long does chicken last in the freezer?
I know you're asking the wrong person.
I put some chicken breasts in the freezer I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh,
and I feel like that's the upper range of how long you can keep chicken in a freezer.
I mean, it's in the freezer, so I mean, theoretically, should be okay.
Infinite, right?
Was it sealed?
Yeah, the package.
I don't know. I feel like
it's not green, Generally, my rule of thumb is if it's not green, it's safe to eat. Unless sometimes if it is green and it's supposed to be green, then it's okay to eat.
Yeah, I mean, if it's sealed tight, people flipping on the back straight away. But I feel like it should be good.
All right.
I hope I don't kill you by saying that. But
between that and your acetaminophen advice, we'll see if I make it to next week. Man, I'm really doing great, guys. It's been a tough week. I'm pretty sure I have COVID again, but I'm too tired and beat to go out and get a test. So, just suffering through it.
I can't believe that you've gotten COVID twice. I literally transport people with COVID, and I have not gotten it once.
Well, I went to Indiana, which is my first mistake. If you were picking people up from Indiana, I'm kidding, but sort of not.
I was going to say, you offended David Weishart, Garrett Grant, and Bryce Senezak.
Okay, well, I also got COVID from Las Vegas. Was there any Nevada people here too? Probably not.
Let me check.
I think it's just, what it is it's just convention centers is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just these trade shows. There's
all it takes is one person, right?
And then I work on Sims, and they're all touching buttons.
Yeah, and then you gotta deal with that. You gotta dismantle that. You're touching that, and breathing in that stuff.
Yep. You think it'd be good for your immune system to be exposed to all the different kinds of germs, but no, it's not good. Anyway, drinking my Gatorade to keep my electrolytes high enough to survive another day.
What flavor Gatorade?
Gatorade Frost Glacier Free.
Oh yeah, the Frost. I dig the Frost one.
The lemon lime is by far the best. Let's be honest. It's what I saw on the Uber Eats grocery app, and I'm gonna get that. So I did. All right, time to go through our final starting lineup, the Roasted Gems Coffee starting grid. This time for the full field. Row 1, it's Brad Slaughter Jr. and Tyler Hallman alongside Travis Beckner and Matthew Bell in row number 2.
Back in behind them, James Coe is going to be lined up in 5th place next to Cameron Hearn in 6th in the 67.
Row 4, it's Ryan Hartz in the number 3 alongside David Weishart in the number 33 in 8th.
9th place, find Carter Coop in the 52. Outside of him, Jordan Martin in the 11 and 10th.
11th place is the 46 of Garrett Grant, and 12th place, the 21 of Eric Wineland.
Back behind them, Matthew Cochran in 13th place. Next to Rafe Slade in the 08 in 14th.
15th place is Alex Weaver in the number 98. Charles Canida's 44 is outside him in the number 16 position.
Hale Holmes going to be in lineup in the 41 and 17th. Jordan Hurley in the 5 and 18th place.
19th place is Logan Hartman. 20th, Colin Fambro in the number 18.
Justin Anasario is going to be really disappointed with the way things turned out. Back in 21st in the 88 machine. He's got a long way to go. 09 at Bryson the second next to him in the 22nd place.
23rd is AJ Roderick's number 56. Paul Swervin Irvin starts 24th in the 48.
Laptex in the 53, in 25th. Cody Cutter in the 25 car in 26th.
27th place is Ryan Swan. 28th, Jeffrey Wilson's number 85.
29, Shane Abbey in the 12 machine. Next in the 20, Justin Munsell in 30th.
Danny Ware, Bobby Tinch, and Jeff No bring up 31st, 32nd, and 33rd in the field. All right. Big field. Holy Chevrolets. Look at the ticker. It is covered in bow ties. Putting the bow ties on for the dirtiest night of the year.
Well, it's covered in bow ties because they're all near the top of the order. There are a lot of Toyota Tundras near the back half of the order.
Well, you know, it tells you who the real truck is. I think the Fords would come out when the dirt's out to play, but
Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
I guess the Chevy's the real man truck, right?
I guess.
Here we go. Pace truck pulls off 75 laps in round number 8 of the Area Truck Series. And Bristol Dirt, we are racing. 42 already in the wall as we get down to turn number 1.
And look at the field cascading out off of turn 2. 42 again in the wall off of turn 2. He's already not off to a good start. Again, it's minor damage now, but definitely doesn't want to keep hitting it.
Oh, 4 wide through 3 and 4. That ain't going to work. Somehow they sort it out. Great work on everybody's part. The 46 of Garrett Grant's kind of middle 3 wide here. There is too many trucks to try to squeeze through all this. Look out.
Yeah, the thing is, they're all vying for that outside lane. All of them know that's the real estate, that's the ticket, that's where you want to be, that's where the speed is. Unfortunately, there's only so many spaces, so many trucks that can fit up there in one particular spot.
98. Alex Weaver's in the wall pretty hard there. He's stuck up on the outside. It's hard to get your truck out of the fence once he hit it. Out front, Brad Slaughter Jr. leads the way. Beckner rides in second. Then this battle for 4th is heating up. Bell, Hearn, and Scioli.
Yeah, Bell was way out there. He's probably riding the highest lane of the leaders at the moment. I say that actually in behind them. Ryan Hart's way high, trying to catch up to James Scioli, trying to make pass him for 6th place.
Ooh, Bryce Senesac in the wall out of turn 2. But just scraping it. Ryan Hart's, look at him trying to find some pace out there. Garrett Grant, Matthew Cochran battling for positions.
And Carter Coop in the middle of that as well. Not off to a good start in the 52 machine, back 5 places after starting a 9.
Yeah, really interested to see how many drivers have immediately gone to the high side to find that loose dirt to grip up, and it's working for them. Not a lot of drivers left on the bottom, even though there is some fresh stuff right against the inside wall there. To carry enough speed down there is a real challenge as Scioli checks up Hartz. That will bring Weishart a little closer.
I think we're probably going to see guys starting to use the inside a little bit more once the outside lane gets all used up. Might see some guys migrate down there a little bit more. That being said, I've already seen a few guys starting to dive down a little bit lower. Saw Cameron Hearn, I think, playing with the last time. I see thing with James Scioli to see Cart in the wall. That is Weishart.
Yeah, 3 and 33 bounced off it pretty good that time as Eric Wineland slips on through. He'll grab a position as well. A little bit deeper. There's 56, 51, and 19 all battling for about 22nd place. Hartman will grab that spot.
56, the 56 of Roderick. His bumper is all beaten in. It looks like he's done about 100 laps around here.
Well, good news, he's done 8, so he's off to a great start. Oh, wow. Irvin hard in the wall into 3.
And Roderick on board with him.
Oof. Oh, that's really tight into turn 1.
If it fits, I sits. Oh, as he gets into the wall. Uh-oh.
Hartman down the racetrack. Oh, he's going to clip the wall and loop it. And the caution comes out for the first time tonight. First time we've seen a yellow, and first time we've gotten a chance to look at the Simrat Market replay.
Yeah, he's riding with the 48. Or sorry, he was running 55, then got into the 48. kind of sent him into the pit barriers, and around he goes.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot he could have done at that stage. He did everything he could to save it, and the long rear end here just kind of swings around and just kind of packs that inside wall. Sends him around
48. Urban sent him swerving into the pit road wall.
So first caution of the night in all of our races. In our 3 heats and the feature. We've 11 laps down. And we are running laps here in the feature cautions here, Finian.
What's that?
Right, we're on lap 11?
Yes.
Was just lap 10, so we're checking laps off in the feature cautions.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't sure if that was the thing.
No, it was just for the heats that we didn't count the caution
How much
laps.
I know about dirt racing.
I mean, you can do it. I think actually in, I don't know if World of Outlaws run cautions in the main event.
In my world, if you are in the dirt, you've either locked up your brakes or someone gave you a nice, good boot to the rear end into the first corner on lap 1.
Just go and messing with your brain.
Oh, it's my brain's messed up already, man.
You sound like one of the patients I drive. I'm just like, what?
It's been a real tough day. It's been affecting me like the way that you can't sleep at night, but you can't stay awake during the day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you sit
I know
up
what you mean. That's me. That's me
times.
normally.
Yeah, but like in the middle of the night, you're like sit up. You're like, oh man, it's 2 a.m. You go back to sleep. You wake up. Oh, it's 2:34. You're like, oh, back to sleep. Oh, it's 3:21. You're like, oh man, and then you fall asleep for what you think is 15 minutes. Then like during the day, like 11 a.m. and then you wake up and it's 5. And you're like, this is stupid.
I've had that many times before. It is a really sucky feeling because then you just feel like you're wasting time.
Yeah.
And then you still feel tired, ironically, after that, too.
Yep. I'm hoping tomorrow is the last day I'm missing work. I think that'd be... I've only missed work or being sick a couple of times in the 2 years I've worked for Grid Life. Not fun, because the things just stack up that you need to do. Here's one thing we got to do. Fans, be sure to check out areairacing.shop for merchandise to represent your favorite driver. Shop from our selection of t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and more at areairacing.shop. Can I buy a Brad Slaughter Jr. hoodie?
I mean, should be able to.
Got some pretty nice looking hoodies on here.
There you go. Check it out.
areairacing.shop. Devil. All right.
Speaking of the devil, we're about to go back racing.
All right. Ooh, man, thank you. Hovering there. Slaughter Jr. on the outside here for the restart, working lap 14 to 75. Effectively 5th of the way through here. Travis Beckner, Cameron Hearn, Tyler Hallman. Everybody's on the lead lap. Everybody that started is running. We're back underway. Green flag back in the air from Bristol.
Whoa, and Hallman sideways seems struggling to get the power down the 67 and 28, duking out for second place. Hearn trying to see if he can get the second spot away. He will clear the 28 out of turn 2.
Oh, I want to see Beckner and Hearn go back at it. That was a fun one to watch in the heats. 3 abreast with Hartz in the middle. Just on the back half of the top 10 here as they come out of turn number 4.
So Beckner's charging hard on the outside, caught back up, got a great run out of 4, hit the wall though, is going to lose some momentum in the middle of the corner. Skyler working the bottom, here comes Hearn, up the track, Beckner to the bottom.
Oh, big slide job again from Beckner. Hearn is going to slot in behind. And where to now? Right behind and back to the bottom.
Give 28 a bump, he's not giving him room, they're going to touch a little bit.
Oh, he's in the fence.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the elbows are out, and they are banging. 28 back to the bottom.
I don't know if Beckner's going to really get anything here. Hearn's going to get, look at the run. This is that run we're
Car
talking about
spinning
on
in
the
the
outside.
background.
So much.
They saved it. It was the 98 of Weaver that was dead sideways. And now they're all kind of piling into turn number 1 as we go back up to that battle for second.
Yeah, that was the 98 getting into the 4. The 4 actually helped him correct back straight, so you could thank him. So kind of a blessing, kind of a curse. This battle continues here. Meanwhile, Brad Slaughter just completely checking out from these guys, almost a second up the road.
Yeah, Slaughter has really found a lane of his own right now. 1 full second clear of the rest of the pack. Tyler Hallman going backwards very quickly. He's kind of fallen out of the upper groove. Needs to get up there. There's a hole behind Matt Bell. If he can just squeeze in ahead of Garrett Grant, he's going to get the opportunity. We'll see if he takes it.
Go for second place. Beckner is back on Hearn. Got to run the outside, tap the wall just a little bit, but he's got that outside lane. He's got the run, and he's clear for second.
I think Beckner's quicker than Hearn. He just needs to have the consistency to stay there. And he might have enough.
Ripping that top lane. He made up a huge amount of ground. He made up 0.2 of a second while making a pass on Hearn on Brad Slaughter Jr.
Yeah, Beckner was half a second faster than Brad Slaughter Jr. last time by. Here's Jordan Martin to side by side with Scioli here for position. Ooh, Martin's a little sideways though, entering 3, the wrong direction though. Puck to the right. Carries some good speed though as we have a caution, and it's a big one on the backstretch.
Oh.
Shane Abbey, the 48 of Irvin, the 41 of Hill Holmes, and Jeffrey Wilson involved. See what happened here. Oh, the 0-0, I think. Part of how this started. We have to go back this up a little bit more. This is a big wreck. Oh yeah, 0-0 and the 53 get into it, and then the track just gets blocked, and there's nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Ooh, and see, and the tough part is slowing down too. We have to mention that. You know, bad enough it's tough slowing these things down on asphalt, but forget trying to slow it down on dirt. It's just not possible, and especially if you lock them up, you're going to go sliding instead of stopping.
Here's a look on board Jeff No in the 55. Kind of woe it down.
On through this. Ooh.
Yeah, at the end. And on board Hill Holmes, who did not make it through. Here's what he saw. Oh, man. Oh, he just got the sounds that truck just made. Sound like a meteor impact hit that 41.
So while we have pit stops going on for the guys that are getting their damage fixed, interesting conversation going on between race control and some of the drivers. Race control saying they need to stay off the walls because some of them have been using it a little bit too much. Yeah, I'm not talking about just using the cushion up there, to like literally using the walls to ride it.
All right, Ross Chastain.
Good old-fashioned wall riding. Yep. It's funny you say that because the man with the melons on the truck, he's been the one that was particularly warned about using the walls. And Edmund said, they kind of let it slide. They gave him some warnings. Now they're saying if you keep doing it, it wasn't just to Beckner, it was in general, but Beckner's been the one doing it the most. They're going to start giving penalties out for it. So wanted to put that out there because that can make things interesting.
Well, Melon Man has been too much. Third of the way through this race, working lap 25 of 75. And Beckner cradles Brad Slaughter Jr. Cameron Hearn, James Scioli, Jordan Martin. David Weishart, your points leader, runs in 5th. And started in 8th, so he's trending forward here.
I was going to say, he did have a bit of an unfortunate incident in the middle of that where he ended up losing a few spots. I think almost dropped outside the top 10. And I think with he's able to kind of get himself back up there with what's been going on. So he's now back up into 6th. See if he can try to improve. He's got some strong contenders up ahead. Jordan Martin, too. We normally don't talk about Martin week in, week out, but he's up there doing a great job on the number 11, riding inside the top 5. We'll see, though, can he hang on enough to maintain that 5th place position?
Interesting to look at the track beginning to kind of get shiny there in that middle to upper groove. That's where everyone has been running, but the grip is going to start to fall away there as they kind of pack that clay down. And right up against this outside lane, this is that cushion that we talked about. All this is loose dirt. And fair game, and that's where the grip is here. So you see Brad Slaughter getting the right side tires right up in that for the restart here.
Remember, wall, it's not fair game. Going to have to be careful because the admins are going to start looking now.
Green flag back in the air. Brad Slaughter Jr. gets the power down, and we're away.
And Beckner going to be clear up in his 2nd place. Going to try to chase down Brad Slaughter. It should be interesting because he's got the pace in the 28 to catch back up to Slaughter, and no one's really been able to touch the 8 really tonight so far.
A lot of 3 wide here. I hear some drivers hitting each other, hitting the wall as well. You just got to be a little bit less sendy, Finney. I mean, you're going to bounce off it real easy if you throw the truck in too hot.
Yeah, just saw James Scaoli hit it more so by accident. Just made a little bit of a mistake, miscalculation, but back off of it, chasing down the 28. Ooh, and quite a few of them just went up to the wall this time. Looking at Martin stuck on the bottom. This could be disastrous for him. Oh, Weishart hard in the wall off turn 2, causing a massive checkup. Home into the inside of the 42 machine.
Puts the 46 in the middle. He's going to run the 3 up into the wall. This is not going to go out very good if they don't get it sorted. 52 with Carter Coop. Where do you go? Gordon Hurley and more. Fambro's watching all this out the windshield and hoping it doesn't get bad before it gets better.
Wineland getting into, I'm not sure who he hit, one of the 5 White Esports machines.
Hurley.
Doored him out of the way, back up the track. Now trying to make a move. Oh, the 42 getting checked, getting hit by the 46. Sent almost to the inside wall, saves it. This is absolute chaos going on here. There is I can't even tell who that is. 52?
Yeah, that's 50. Well, yeah, maybe. Depends on which truck you're referencing. They're all hitting each other, and the elbows
Coop hit
have
the wall
been
just a little
out.
bit there and got sideways.
For the lead, here comes Beckner with a big slide on Brad Slaughter. Slaughter crosses him over and drives back down to the bottom. Can he lead at the stripe? Well, this is the backstretch, so not this time through. To the bottom goes the 8 again.
No. That was a lot quicker than I thought. I thought it was going to take a little longer to catch back up, but Beckner's on a tear. That being said, got passed by Slaughter. Here comes Beckner returning the favor.
This is great stuff for the top spot. Big crossover here again from the 8. Working our way closer to the halfway point of this race at lap 37, 38.
Oh, he's not done. Here he comes, Beckner back down on the bottom. They have a huge gap back to 3rd place now. Jordan Martin, who just got past Scaoli. Got a big gap to kind of work with, so they can kind of go back and forth like this.
Slaughter got in the wall a little bit. That's going to slow down his run. To the bottom again. He's going to throw this dive. I don't think he's going to. Well, he is going to clear him. He throttles up mid-corner and keeps Beckner behind. Beckner's going to do the same thing and cross him back.
Every time they do this, they've been losing about a 10th or 2 back to Jordan Martin. Martin's starting to reel them in now that he's in 3rd place. He's got some pace in that 11 machine, so they can't quite keep doing this too much longer. It's going to be a 3-way fight. Ooh, a bump from the 8.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. He's going to throttle up. Beckner's going to do the same, and caution comes out.
Kaneda.
Danny Ware's in it again.
Around and a few around.
51 of Logan Hartman and more at lap 36, roughly the halfway point of this race. Oh, this was up the road. Ooh, the 88 of Sogak was really where it started.
Oh!
Much bigger than it looked. And Sogak and the 56, I think, were the catalyst to this. Right here.
Yeah, right there. Bang. You got a hit. And you see a hit from between the 5 and Colin Fambro earlier. Not involved in that at all. But you see then Sogak, the biggest loser out of all that. You see him, that truck smoking. He's going to be effectively out of this race.
Yeah, big time damage there. A few other drivers out. Irvin, Holmes, Abbey, Hicks. A couple drivers coming down pit lane, including Brad Slaughter Jr.
Yeah, interesting. Not everyone pit. I actually didn't even think they needed to pit for fuel. Not going to lie.
Beckner stays out, though, and Jordan Martin will inherit 2nd.
So a change in the order up near the front. This can get interesting here with some strategy. I honestly didn't even think pit road strategy was going to be a thing tonight at all either.
This has been a fun one tonight, actually. I've been really impressed with quality of the racing, especially at the front. Elbows are out a little bit, but for the most part, a lot of good crossover moves there.
Oh! Beckner getting an EOL.
Oh, man.
I think, if I heard that right.
What for?
I am going to try to double check. Give me a second.
Beckner, potentially. Not sure why or what. Brad Slaughter Jr. comes out of pit lane in 16th place. Has a lot of positions to make up here before the tail end of this race. About 40 laps to go, just under. UL for the 88 of Anna Sogak, of course, involved in that collision.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry that Beckner's not getting an EOL. I heard the 88 apparently is getting an EOL, not the 28.
Yep, that was for the collision.
Yes. Or something. I don't know. Either that or damage. I'm not sure.
I think that was because of the...
So never mind. Scratch that. So Beckner's not getting EOL. I heard Brad call up something to review something, and I heard the admins talking about it. I just heard 8, and I was like, "Ooh, it's got to be Beckner."
Well, Brad Slaughter Jr., as I mentioned, rolls off 16th for this restart. 8 rows back with 35 laps to go. Been a little bit of a track position game tonight. I'm curious to see if call to take tires was worth it. I don't usually think that the tires are something to have on the dirt track, but we'll see if that's...
I don't think it was really the tires. I think they might have limited the... Actually, I think they might have limited the fuel in these guys. They can actually check how much fuel they have.
Beckner, well, if that was the case, everyone would have come at that point.
Maybe some guys just trying to stay out there and see how much they can get out there with some more track position. I guess, I don't know, playing the game.
Pace truck pulls off. Beckner is in command now. I think he's been one of the fastest drivers out there on the dirt, and green flag back in the air. Wow, what a hornet's nest this is. Riding on board with Brad Slaughter Jr., that's what he sees, and it is chaos ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I guess they're looking at it. I don't think he did come down for fuel. I think he did, as you mentioned, come down for tires. But I don't know if it's really worth it putting yourself this far back in traffic unless he was kind of betting on more people coming in to make this easier for him.
Well, watch the 18. He's going to get tagged.
Whoa.
Roderick can't slow up in time. Everybody scatters. Still banging doors. I think they're going to hang on to it, though.
That was amazing they were able to avoid that concertina effect. It's so hard on dirt when someone hits another person and one guy has to check up, and then usually that leads to a wreck, but able to avoid it in that sense. That being said, up near the front, absolute pandemonium going up just in behind these guys, 3 wide, in behind the 21, the 46, the 98. That is Weiland, Grant, and Weaver. Sorry, the 98 Weaver.
Caution, Justin Munsel's turned around. See what happened to the 20.
This is in that gaggle at the tail end there. Was trying to avoid the 19, came down the track.
It's got kind of that oscillation sort of thing and couldn't quite hang on to it. But with that,
21.
caution is out again. We'll take a very quick break. We'll be back for the restart here in just a moment. Back live from Bristol. Clay covering the track, 45 laps complete of 75 scheduled tonight. We've had our heat races that set the grid and a handful of yellows slowing the progress of this one, but Travis Beckner leads the way over Jordan Martin, Ryan Hartz, Matt Bell, and Garrett Grant in the number 46. Garrett currently runs in 5th after starting 11th. He has had a pretty good climb forward so far.
Yeah, I think gained quite a few positions from the quite a bit of the leaders pinning in last few times. I don't think we saw any taker last time through. So no. I guess we really are seeing these guys only really just coming in to take tires. Bit of a questionable decision, but we still got some racing left. We'll see again, guys like Cameron Hearn, Brad Slaughter, James Scaly, Jordan Hurley, and Hallman also can throw in as well. All trying to race their way back to the front, and they're sitting just outside the top 10.
It's really interesting looking at most of the drivers here, all kind of gaining a similar amount of positions because of the group of drivers that came down to pit lane on the previous caution. And we're closing in on the last 25 laps or so of this race, and we can tick them off pretty quick here. But the cautions are beginning to happen a little bit more rapidly as drivers are feeling that desperation. It is just challenging to move forward unless you're really in those front 3 or 4 rows and you can start throwing sliders. But if you're kind of in the middle of the pack, in the middle of traffic, you're stuck 3, 4 wide, you're extremely limited in the moves you can make and the places you can go.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how packed down the dirt is in turns, in all the turns. You can see that glassy texture as the light reflects off. So the dirt's pretty packed down there. There's not going to be a whole lot of grip. Probably going to see these guys go very high up near the wall or very down low, where you can still see there's kind of some loose dirt there near the inside wall. There's some, can find a little bit of speed down there, pretty much where Martin's running right now.
Yeah, again, you mentioned that the track slicking up there. There is kind of a middle groove, though, right kind of between those extremes. Still is some fresh dirt left, but right up against that wall seems to be the place to be for speed. Give up a lot of speed on entry, though, to carry that upper groove. It might leave you exposed. Brad Slaughter Jr. gained 4 spots on that previous run. He was up in the lead for a majority of this race, but it's Beckner out in command now. We're back underway from Bristol.
Ooh, poor start for the inside lane. You see Cameron Hearn swerving out of the way, actually swerving around the 52 Carter Coupe. 3 wide, few lanes back here. Absolute chaos off turn 2.
Oh, Wineland
slipping and sliding.
4 wide. That ain't going to work, guys. No way we get out of this, all right.
Oh, Hearn getting into 19 of Swan. Swan in the wall, and up there they go.
Okay.
Hurley holding on.
Yep, there they go.
And there they go. Jeez, that took 4 turns to finally happen.
That was just one of those wrecks you knew was going to happen. Needed somebody to finish somebody off. 52 car was the one that got the short end of the stick here. It's hit by the 5, and not much he could have done. He got.
Yeah, if you actually really want to go to the genesis of that wreck, you want to go all the way back down to coming off of turn 2, number 9, Matthew Bell. See right there, him and Wineland. They get together on the back straightaway, lose a lot of speed. There you see the 46 go to the inside, 19 Orion Swan on the outside. Everyone coming flying up into the corner, almost 5 wide there for a second. Beating, banging each other off the wall. And then a little bit further back, then that's where you see Carter Coupe and Hurley get into it.
Yeah, just one of those wrecks that someone's going to get turned around, and sometimes it isn't the drivers that kind of kick it all off. Beckner, though, leads the way as he has for the last 15 or 16 laps. And Brad Slaughter continues to make up some more ground in these short sprints. He's led 35 of the 52 laps that we've completed, and he's quick. But I think Beckner was a hair quicker when they were on equal footing before. I guess the jury's still out on whether or not taking tires was the right call.
I think these short cautions are definitely hurting him. Yes, he is making some progress, but I think he really needed those tires to work. If we went all green the rest of the way, I think that's where he really would have been able to see him flex his muscles with those fresh tires. But these short cautions are just giving him less time to work with. I mean, we're coming down. We almost got 20 laps to go. It's going to be tough to work back from 9th, even with the speed that he has.
I just genuinely don't know how much tires are worth at a dirt track, especially on these big, heavy cars. I don't know how much degradation you're actually seeing over the course of such short runs. So maybe there's something that they know that we don't, but I think the smart call would have been to stay out, keep the track position, not put yourself in those tight scenarios that we've seen Slaughter narrowly get out of.
Especially with the track conditions worsening, right? I mean, the track's not getting faster, it's getting slower in general, so I don't know really how effective those fresh tires are going to be when the track itself is kind of getting worse. So you have to consider that.
A lot of cars on this track, too, a lot of trucks on this track. Normally dirt races don't have a 33 car grid, but that's what we had. We're down about 7 or 8 cars from where we started, but that really accelerates the wear on the surface. You can see how dark that racing line is in just 50 laps worth of racing. It just, so many trucks, so heavy a mass, you're going to be fighting this track condition situation for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think for the leaders, I think it's safe to say, I feel like at this point, you're definitely not coming down to pit road for tires.
This is your, you made your bed and you're laying in it. David Weishart, again, points leader, trying to protect what he can in the championship. Now remember, he's pretty locked in to the playoffs with those, by virtue of those 2 wins that he had that came at Darlington and Atlanta. He's won both of the last 2 races and has only finished outside of the top 10 once. That was at Daytona, where he finished 19th. Right now he runs 13th, so that could kind of put a black mark on the season that he's had. It's been pretty solid so far.
Interesting to note, though, Brad Slaughter has yet to win a race this season. Was looking really solid, like he was going to get that first win, but might be slipping away from him here, though. We'll see what they can do. Travis Beckner, if he can hold on, he'll be his 2nd win of the season.
All right, 20 laps to go this time through. Out of turn 4, Beckner is in command on the outside again. Back underway from Bristol. Nice, clean, tidy restart. The 8 truck a little out of line in the backdrop. What can he do to get up track position that he needs?
Oh, he's going to get to Eric Wineland. Almost gets sent into the pit road barrels on the entrance of pit road. They were 4 wide for a second. Hearn's going to actually get around the 8. And again, remember, they're both on the same tire life. So Hearn's going to be moving up through the order pretty quickly here. We'll see. Slaughter still stuck in some traffic and behind.
Wow, big impacts there on the outside
the
groove,
98.
and the 98's going to spin. That's going to be a big crash to the 8.
Slaughter hard on the wall, caution out, and they're still wrecking.
That's going to be it for Slaughter. I'd imagine that truck is going to be destroyed with the impact he took. Yeah, it gets into the 98 here. Spins the 98 and then just gets hooked in. That was straight into the wall.
I think I'd say maybe the 98 kind of got into him. You're going to see here coming off the corner. Actually, no, it was the next corner. Right
98
here.
come down the road here? Yeah, maybe. Kind of turns a little harder left there.
Into the 21, and everyone kind of lazily kind of shoves into one another as they do in the dirt.
Slaughter's going to have some big-time damage there. If the engine's running okay, he could probably salvage something, but that thing looks pretty torn up.
Yeah, I doubt it's running good. That was a pretty hard hit to the right side wall, the right side of that truck. I mean, might be okay. And again, for dirt, you don't need a whole lot. You definitely want. Oh, dude.
Yeah. Also, did you
right
see,
to go left?
Did you just see the? Hold on. Did you just see the pit lights here?
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's Christmas.
What is going on? Yes or no?
It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Like when girls are sending mixed signals. Well, Slaughter's going to hit pit lane here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be genuinely surprised if he didn't get a meatball, especially with the way he's driving. Turn right to go left. Well, and who knows how long he's going to have to spend down there on pit lane to fix that thing up.
Probably longer than he's got left. We'll know pretty quickly here. He hops out of the truck. Might be it for Brad Slaughter. Led 35 laps tonight. Can't help but think the strategy call was the wrong one there, Finian. But
I mean,
again,
that's the risk.
Not that many people didn't come to pit lane, though. There's only about 10 drivers that didn't come.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I just think that decision, putting yourself at risk, I think he and a few others were hoping more guys would come down with the leaders, but quite a few guys decided to stay out, and that just put a lot of them stuck back in traffic and kind of put any end to their run to the front. That being said, Cameron Hearn, highest driver up there with fresher tires. It's only 40 laps fresher tires, but you never know. Could come into play here. He's sitting in 5th. Might be able to make quick work of them here, though. He's got little time remaining. We're going to have less than 15 laps to go with a restart.
So Beckner is likely going to choose the outside lane. Garrett Grant, I really like this 46 truck. Been continuing to climb forward. And you know what I like the most about this 46 truck is it's not that damaged compared to some of those around. He's got a little bit of right side damage, but he's done a really good job keeping this thing out of the wall and out of other trucks. And that's going to count for a lot here towards the end, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be happy if he can keep this performance up. Has not had a top 5 finish since the season opener at Daytona, where he finished in third. Taking a look at Ray Slate down on pit lane in the 08.
Yep,
Not
his
been too terribly good of a night.
Oculus just shut off, so that's why he's in pit lane. Oh, can't see, can't drive.
Yeah, that's always one of the unfortunate things. It's kind of one of those things where you kind of wish you could just, set it back in monitor mode and continue on, but doesn't quite work like that.
You ever thought about how cool Oculus is as a word? Pretty
It
cool
is
word.
really cool, and they got rid of it.
Oh, what do they call it now?
Meta.
Oh, the worst. Green flag. 14 laps to go. Good restart by the 28. The 11 sails to the bottom as the 3 tries to split the difference here and squeeze up to the high lane. Hearts and the 46 get together in the 9. Man, this is dicey stuff.
Martin scared me for a second. He turned so hard to left I thought he was spinning out. But he was just trying to make an aggressive lunge. Speaking of a lunge, here comes a 3 going flying up on the outside of the 11 car. Yeah, he's up in second place.
Man.
Martin in the wall. Hearn gonna follow him in there as well.
Everyone just using that outside wall as a crutch this late in the race. Trucks
Hearn
are just
throwing to the inside of the 11, trying to fight for third place.
no side bite at this point in the race. Can't keep the things from sliding up the wall. Oh, look at the 67 right to the tail of the 3. Scioli just did a huge slide job on the 46.
Yeah, he's been having a great battle with him last couple laps. Yeah, he's going to continue duking at it here in the closing stages of this race. See Cameron Hearn struggling to make it past that 11 truck. He feels like he's got some speed. He's got to make this pass. Not only happen, but make it stick. But he's just going to get fought back on hard on the exit there.
Good battles here inside the top 10, the 46 and 7. They've sorted it out for the time being. The 11 and 67 still going at it here. Arts trying to reel in Beckner. It's half a second with 9 laps to go.
Ooh, they're going to get close. Wow, he got so close to turning him there. And now here comes Garrett Grant with the checkup. 46 has got a huge amount of momentum. Going to throw it to the inside.
Yeah, he didn't commit to it fully, though. He's not going to carry enough speed down here without fully committing. He's going to be door-to-door and dead even with them. But when you chuck it, you got to chuck it. You got to just go to the bottom and throw it in there. But Hearn into the fence.
Yeah, I agree. You have to absolutely have to lick the stamp and send it. You have to have full commitment if you want to make that fast stick. He's got to build up that run as well. Looking at these guys, it's kind of hard. At this point, these guys hit each other so much, it's kind of even hard to tell to read the doors. There's the 19 of Colin Farmer just ahead of the 42.
Well, it's the 18 of Colin Fambro. You can't tell because the number's blown off the side of that thing. Tyler Hallman in the 42. Oh, look at this up the road. Maybe that's the 19. Yes, Ryan Swan.
There's the 19.
And David Weishart trying to keep his top 10 streak alive. Up to 8th place.
Whoa.
Caution is out. Roderick and Ware. Third one that Ware's been involved in tonight.
Oof. Now looking back at it, so he's riding in behind the 66 of Bobby Tinch.
Oh, not really the 00's fault that time.
No, or Roger's fault. Both of them just victims in that, and both of them with severe damage to their trucks.
This is going to set up a pretty wild late race restart, though. Wow, that was a big hit for the 56. That is it for both of them. And the attrition level has been extremely high. The big league short tracks, you actually don't see that many people actually out of the race because you're not going fast enough to actually destroy the cars. But tonight, with some exceptions for drivers that are a couple laps down, starting with 33, we now have 17. 2 exceptions.
Yeah.
A couple drivers are rolling, but 17, 18 laps down. All right.
Logan Hartman still out there, 21 laps down, 27, trying to make up some spots over some of the competitors that are not out there running anymore. And I think with the amount of laps they have left, I think we're going to have our only green-white checkered here coming up shortly.
Yeah, it could be. If we go into overtime, that would mean that this would be our 1 PWC. Beckner, Hartz, Martin, Hearn, Garant. This has been a pretty consistent top 5. Ever since Beckner got the lead away from Rafe Slade, he has not looked back. Beckner's season on the truck side, he has 1 win. That came back at Gateway in November 8th, about a month ago. And it's kind of been hit or miss for Beckner. Think about his season. 2nd at Daytona, 16th at Rockingham, 2nd at Sonoma, 5th at Iowa, 1st at Gateway, 38th at Atlanta, 5th at Darlington. It has been gold or tin for the 28 all year long.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty solid job. If he gets that second win, he's going to be up there with Weishart. Both of them 2 wins apiece this season. And you got Ryan Hart's in there as well. He's also won a race before in this season, one at Daytona, your season opener. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was actually Beckner pushing him to the win in that race.
Yeah, and then his only finish outside of the top 5, which is an incredible stat, was a 37th at Atlanta. Why Hart's is second in the standings, only to David Weishart. Results are really offset by the fact that he didn't have a 37th. His worst finish was a 19th. But actually, in terms of just raw average finishing position, if you exclude their worst results, Hart's is as good, if not a little bit better. Actually, I can look this up. 7.86 average for Hart's, 6.29 for 33. Weishart. Really impressive seasons by both of those guys.
Actually, if you want to go even one better, James Scaiola, 7.4 average finish for him.
Wow.
Although he's sitting in 6th, so not in the best positions for this restart, but still looking to have some. Actually, will technically improve that number if he finishes in 6th.
This will be our one attempt at a green-white checkered. We are in overtime now. Long yellows for whatever reason. iRacing, what are you doing?
I think it's like a dirt thing. Maybe, or I don't know.
Every dirt race I've ever been to, they do half a lap of yellow. They scrape the broken car off the pavement, and
they might have enabled that option too for that extra pace lap because they know it's a toggle option. I don't know.
All right, restarting. We're gonna get 2 laps. If the caution flies, race is over. If it doesn't, we're racing out to the end of these 2 laps. Ryan Hart's is gonna get one real good opportunity to lick the stamp and send it. He can't let that 28 get too far ahead. Beckner's been better all night long since the 8 fell out of favor and is down the order. Green flag back in the air. 2 laps to go from Bristol.
Ooh, that was a pretty good restart from Hartz as he gets turned into the fence by Hearn.
And up into the outside wall, stays in the throttle. He's going to try to just carry it out of the corner. He's going to hook the 67, and they're going to wad this up, I think. The 19 up into the outside wall. Can they get back to the white? No.
Nope.
Caution is out. And with that, final lap.
And Reinhardt is not a happy camper.
Well, you can't imagine he would be, but holy cow. Let's go back and see. Well, we've got a moment to see what happened. It finishes unofficially 6th, but kind of got squeezed on the restart, and then 19, 2 others get kind of hooked. Wow, the 19 up on his side.
Is that what happened to Senizak?
Pretty much. But the 3, gets hooked by the 67, and once he was in the wall, he just realized if I just throttle down, cross-chastaining it, turns the 67.
Wow, the chaos unfolding behind him.
I've never seen a caution just tripped by a car, not even sideways, but just turned upside down. So race is over. Travis Beckner is your winner for the 2nd time this season. Jordan Martin grabs the 2nd place. James Scaiola in 3rd. And that's your race result after our 75-lap feature. Beckner gets it done in a green-white checkered here at Bristol. Don't think you can really do a burnout on the dirt, but we're going to see Beckner give it a go.
He can. It's a little bit awkward, a little bit clumsy, but he can.
Here's a look at your race results. Area Truck Series, round number 8. Beckner, Martin, Scaiola, Garrett Grant, a great top 5 for him. Cameron Hearn grabs a 5th. Bell, Hartz, Wineland, Fambro, and David Weishart keeps his top 10 streak alive, finishing 10th on that one, Finney.
Yeah, and also really saw it again. Jordan Martin sealing out a 2nd place out of although when it was said and done. Jordan Hurley, Tyler Holman. I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting Holman to finish in the top 5. Looked really strong. The 42 was back down in 12th. He's probably going to be wishing that this went a little bit better. Bobby Tinge, Bryce Senizak, Jeff Noah, and I'm actually trying to see where the lead lap runners end. Actually, Noah was the last driver to finish on the lead lap. everyone else in behind finishing a lap down.
Yeah, and these are drivers that just had some bad results here. Crashes, incidents, and things that put them down the order, but one driver ended up in third. It was James Scioli, comes home P3 in the number 7. James, tonight, some green flag racing there towards the start, but then it just turned into some drivers leaning on each other all night long. Had to have the elbows out all night. Take us through your perspective and how you managed to come home third with all the bumping and banging.
Yeah, in that first run there, I knew that it was going to be. I knew that I didn't have the speed of Brad and Travis. They were able to rip the wall so good, and I just couldn't quite ever find my groove up there. So I knew when we got that caution around halfway, I just kind of wanted to pit. And the tires don't really wear out, but they have a lot of heat. So if you can get some cool tires on, you can go pretty quick. So I was able to get some cool tires and make my way up through the field pretty good. I didn't know how far I was going to get. We started getting a lot of caution, so it was kind of tough to make up ground, but definitely glad to make it back to P3. It was restarted 19th, so I was really banking on the tires being better, and luckily they were. We were able to drive up through the field and kind of avoid some of the chaos and shrug off a couple wrecks and make our way up through.
Battered and bruised, the number 7 worn off both sides of the truck. James, third place. Congratulations on coming home and surviving tonight at Bristol.
Yeah, thank you, and big thanks to Elwood Designs. I know the paint scheme doesn't look as good now, but he does great work, so big shout out to him, and then thanks to Butt Kicker, Matt Tools, Chris Sports Cards, Dandles Candles, and Sci-Fi Racing, and David Weishart Racing, and then just big thanks to you guys in the booth and the admins and everybody for putting this on.
All right, James, hey, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. See you next week.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Jordan Martin brings it home in second in the number 11, slipping and sliding, battling drivers all night long. Every corner, every side of this number 11 truck is worn off or dented or bruised in some fashion, Jordan, but a second place tonight. Congratulations. Take us through your night and perspective you had in the mirror and out the windshield.
Well, I was expecting, or at least hoping, to start a little bit farther up in the front, but I just kept on riding up there against the fence, and then I think it was about halfway through, I tried the bottom, and I felt like I was like flying around the track, and like almost every restart, I'd fly all the way down to the bottom near the apron and slide up. And I think I cleared the leader a couple of times doing it, so try to keep it clean.
It was fun to watch. At times, it seemed like it was challenging to keep it clean. 3 and 4 wide on the restarts. How challenging were those when you really don't have a lot of control over where the truck goes, and then you got drivers to your inside and outside, sometimes 4 wide?
It just felt like I was driving bumper cars out there, bouncing off of everybody and all the fences. It was a lot of fun, though.
A lot of fun, Jordan. Second place tonight. Congratulations. 10th to second. Number 11 comes home P2. I'm going to bring home Travis Beckner, your race winner tonight. Perhaps the winner of the most expensive game of ping pong that I have ever seen. There's Beckner in the number 28. Winning the ping pong game tonight, Travis, but you did that by staying out in front all night long. Didn't come to pit lane. Vinny and I were a little bit confused as to why drivers would. It seemed like track position was the play, and that seemed to work out for you.
Yeah, when I was talking to Scioli down there in the broadcast stage, and I'm like, I don't know why y'all pitted, but I'm happy that y'all did because it worked out for me.
Yeah, I mean, some drivers were saying that there felt like there was an advantage, but isn't having clear racetrack and control the restart more advantageous?
Oh, yeah, 110%. It definitely is. Like, there on the final restart, I was hoping that we were going to go green all the way to the end so we could get a JBR 1-2-3, but we ended up getting a 1-2, which is still amazing max points night for us. But, wow. I'm so happy from last year getting the EOL at the end of the race for wall riding to winning. I'm very happy about this result tonight.
Well, it's going to be win number 2 for you in the column. And, you know, we were talking about the drivers that had to kind of survive the restarts kind of in the middle of everything. But you led a whole bunch of laps tonight after battling Rafe Slate. But take us through that heat battle you had with the 67. It got physical out there. How much of that was having fun and how much of it was getting under your skin?
None of it was really getting under my skin because Cameron and I always raced like that with each other when we were teammates last year. We always laughed about it. I don't know if he didn't like the slide job that I made on him for the first time round, but oh my God. What a race.
It was fun, Travis. Hey, congratulations, man. Soak it up and enjoy it. Covered in dirt and watermelons, apparently. The 28 comes home in victory lane.
Yeah, this was actually my throwback from last weekend. Thanks to Splash and Go Graphics, Cosman. I'm not gonna even try to say his last name. I will completely botch it. But this is a throwback to Ross Chastain when he started racing originally in the truck series. And yeah, before I go, I'd also like to thank my sponsors: Rick's Hot Sauce, Lodgebox, Wax Electric, Collier Cutters Landscaping of Southwest Florida, and everybody that helped me out with this. Everybody down at JBR, Miller Racing, and I just can't wait to hear all the comments about me tonight.
All right, hey, Travis, congratulations. Victory lane, second time this season. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Finney, wrapping things up here from Bristol. Fun racing tonight. Don't get to do dirt a lot, and every time we watch it, I'm always fascinated by the strategy involved. But tonight, staying out front, no tires. That was the call that won it for Travis Beckner.
Oh, absolutely. Did a fantastic job. Completely the right strategy call in the end. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but it didn't. All that mattered is just being in front when the checkered flag is up, and Beckner did it done. He had some really solid pace, too. He was arguably one of the fastest guys out there. It's a bit unfortunate because I was really looking forward to see more of a battle between him and Brad Slaughter Jr. Unfortunately, we were denied that, but definitely can't argue that Beckner didn't earn the victory here tonight.
It was a blast. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully Thursday I'll be in a little bit better shape with my health, and I'll feel a little bit better for the Lodgebox series potentially. On Thursday, we'll see you there. That's the last area stream for the week. On Thursday, we'll head off to round number 9 next week. Kyle Heyer, Finney and DeCuna with you. We'll see you Thursday.